This video is sponsored by K&F Concept. I think the Leica T Typ 701 might be the coolest camera in my camera hoarding collection. It's just a bit sexy, isn't it? It's such a bold camera from Leica, and I think it's fascinating. I've had it for around a year now, and I have some thoughts on it. And I think if you're a camera nerd like me, it's well worth looking at. I'm here in the Leica Museum, and I've done what any sane camera nerd would do. I brought my Leica with me in order to show it where it was born. This is where you're from. This is where you came from. Literally made in there. It even says it on the camera. So going to the Leica factory and seeing the people working in the factory and really sort of, you know, like when someone says that this camera has been milled from one piece of aluminium and it's been hand polished for 45 minutes. It's kind of hard to conceptualize that. It's kind of hard to see that. But then seeing all the people working in the Leica factory, it's just like, oh, that's actually crazy. No wonder this camera is so premium and unique. And I think it was so before its time as well. I mean, this year we've seen the Sigma BF come out, which is also an aluminium lovely boy. I think the Leica's easier to hold. The BF has got some jagged edges. I find myself leaning on this. You've got the thumb grip on the back, and then on the front there's absolutely nothing. And I find my little idle hands make devil's work leaning on this, and that would be disastrous. It just goes to show that there's something interesting about this design and something really beautiful about making a camera that is a piece of art as well as a tool. Now, both the Sigma BF and the Leica T Typ 701, they're both L mount cameras. In fact, to my knowledge, the Leica is the first L mount camera ever made. I think one of the things that really held it back when it came out many moons ago was there just wasn't very many lenses. Now we don't have that problem. With the L mount alliance with Panasonic and Sigma, etc., and some other third-party brands, we now have a ton of L mount lenses to choose from. And some tiny ones as well. Like my favourite one at the moment on both the Lumix S9 and the Leica is this little beauty. How beautiful. The little pancakey boy from Lumix. It's an 18-40. Now the aperture is nothing to write home about. It's an f4.5 to 6.3. But in terms of like size and usability, it just looks gorgeous. This, incidentally, is the titanium one that I got with the titanium S9, which is just stunning, and it looks gorgeous on this too. One thing that's interesting about the Leica versus the BF and the S9 is that the Leica is actually an APS-C sensor size, so whichever lens you do put on there, you do have a crop factor. So when I got to review the Sigma BF, and I had a lovely old time with that camera, it just made me think about the Leica so much. And it hurts my brain to think that the Leica came out in 2014. The design of it is timeless and gorgeous and a little bit wacky and a little bit strange. And I do think it was not very well received at the time because it's so off-piste for Leica as a company. But if you are a camera collector as well as you enjoy photography, it's a really interesting camera. In terms of image quality, you have some fantastic Leica color profiles built in. My favorite, of course, is the Leica high contrast monochrome, stunning, but you do have a little bit of wiggle room in customizing the color ones as well. And one thing that I love about this camera versus the BF is they put a flap on it. They deigned to ruin the single piece with a flap. And the Sigma BF went for like internal storage only. There is no flappy business on that camera. It's one cohesive unit, and the only thing that you have is the USB-C input. Whereas with the Leica, you do have internal storage built in. You have 16 gigabytes, which I actually believe it's just like a hidden micro SD port. So if you're crazy and want to unscrew the T Typ 701, you can expand the internal storage if you like, but I'm not doing that. No. There is no way I'm opening that camera up. No, thank you. So yeah, you've got internal storage and an SD card as well, and some usual ports. And honestly, I don't think the flap, such a funny word, I don't think the flap has ruined the design at all. I love that Leica set out to make a merge between a smartphone and a Leica camera. So it's throughout a lot of the traditional Leica-y tactile goodness. Like, there's no mode dial on this camera. It's all done on the screen, which is a big, hefty touchscreen at the back. So speaking of clever technology, K&F Concept, the sponsor of this video and long-term supporter of this channel, I love them. They sell loads of cool stuff. They sent me a really cool battery this month, which is their V-mount battery. Now, if you don't know what this is or the benefit of this, if you have a lot of different camera accessories like sliders or monitors, anything that needs power, you can either individually power them all, and then it's a 900 things that you need to charge, and then something will inevitably run out through the day. Or you can get a one-stop solution like this, and it has a ton of different ports on it, and then you can attach everything to one power source, including your camera, actually. If you just get a dummy battery for your camera or plug it in via the USB-C port, you can even keep your camera charged as well as you work. So K&F Concept sell loads of wonderful high-quality camera accessories, from tripods to V-mount batteries to filters. So check them out in the description. Thank you to them as ever. And let's get back to the camera nerdiness. I love that even though it is modern and the menu is pretty idiot and Emily proof, you can just tap through it, it's really cool. I love that even though it is touchscreen first, you do have some tactile dials. You have two dials, so for your shutter speed and your aperture, for example. It's a bit annoying because they're next to each other, so sometimes when you're using it, they feel the same and you won't know which one you're using, but it's nice that they're there. And once you get your head around it, it's actually quite cool. And the flash. The flash for the montage. Is that not the cutest thing you've ever seen? Obsessed. Oh, the shutter sounds nice though. Oh my goodness. You can feel it vibrate through the camera. It's gorgeous. Oh. That was not scripted in any way, but that is literally my next point. Every time I pick this camera up, I just end up faffing with it and wanting to take any old photo with it because it's just so satisfying to use. You know, like that feeling that you get when you have like a brand new camera or a brand new lens and you just go out into the garden and take pictures of random things or your pets. This camera, even a year later, still feels like that. It's still like, oh, I wonder what this would look like in like a monochrome. It's just a really fun experience as a camera, in my opinion. Change the battery because it's flashing angrily at me. So this is a camera, in terms of physical engineering, that every little detail has been accounted for. There's no visible screws whatsoever. Even the battery door is like cohesive and it clicks and it's beautiful. And another thing that's really seamless is how you would attach your camera strap. So there are lugs here that are magnetic, I believe, so completely flush to the camera. You can buy a Leica accessory that's super duper expensive to turn it into like a more traditional kind of lug, so you could put like a normal strap on it or a Peak Design anchor, for example. Otherwise you're stuck with the one in the box, which is like this plasticky, rubbery nightmare of a strap. I don't like it at all. So I've just, as a workaround, I've just stuck a plate on the bottom and an anchor to that so I can still hold it when I'm out and about. One accessory I couldn't resist buying though is the official Leica case for it. You can get them in all kinds of different colours, so of course I went for a disgusting yellow one and I love it. But honestly, in terms of keeping the camera scratch free, etc., it's good, but I kind of just like how it looks without. One top tip if you are on the lookout for this camera, I would urge you to try and find one boxed. Now, I don't care about unboxings. I put on my Instagram stories recently that you very rarely see an unboxing on this channel because I just open things like a feral raccoon, like literally terrible, just a box of stuff that I need to work through. There is nothing hashtag aesthetic around this. However, Leica is nothing if not an experience. You have to justify the hefty price tag in some ways, and the way that they have done that, one of the ways, is the blooming packaging. It's so elaborate. There's drawers, opens like a beautiful little flower, and I've kept the box. It's about the only box that I will keep, to be honest, because it's so cool. So yeah, if you do want to find one, try and get one boxed, if only for the experience. If not, just watch an unboxing of it and save some money. Now, this camera is contrast-based autofocus, so don't be expecting the world, but it's not terrible. And it's not really a video-centric camera. It will shoot some video, and you can even shoot video in the Leica monochrome, which is quite novel, but it is very much photo first. There was once a time that you could buy that camera at a pretty good price, and not to make you all sick with envy, but I managed to get it for under £400, which is insane because a lot of them now are around £1,000. So I think it's suffering from scarcity because it wasn't such a big hit when it first came out, and because it took so much labour to make, I don't imagine that many of them are even made. So they are getting more scarce on the used market. If you are on the hunt for one, I would urge you to utilise email alerts. If there's a camera that you like the look of, stick an email alert on where you like to shop. I'd recommend Buy eBay and MPB, of course, or whatever similar things are internationally. Then you get an email and it goes, hey, this is available. And then, you know, you've got a chance to get it before anybody else notices it. It's not like I just magic up these bargains. Sometimes I wait weeks and weeks and months in order to get them because I'm a camera nerd and a weirdo. So yeah, it's not my fault. Just be patient. I think it's very ironic that this camera is now more usable now than when it first came out, with all the extra lenses that we have on the L mount. It came out stupidly expensive, like 1,800 quid, I think. And when you consider there was only 2 lenses at launch, that is literally insane. Leica do have some balls on them for doing that. Why did I dramatically pause and then say it anyway? In some ways, it's a better camera now than it was because you have a lot more lenses. And I should reassure you, every time I've put a new lens on, it'll just work. So I put that new lens on, which obviously didn't exist when the Leica camera came out, and it just had a little pop-up and it was like, updating, and then it worked. So touching wood, I'm not saying it'll work for every single lens. If you have experience with this camera, let me know in the comments if you've come up with any problems. But every L mount lens that I've put on it, an autofocus one, it's communicated and worked fine. Some kind of witchcraft. I love this camera and I'm so glad that I managed to buy one. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. And if you'd like to watch my Sigma BF video, watch that next.